Scorpio, you already know what I'm talking about, don't you? That constant pressure in your chest, that feeling of being trapped somewhere you should have left long ago. That inner voice that whispers every night that you need to get out, you need to leave, you need to break free, but you resist, you fight it, you find 1,000 excuses to stay. But now there's no more pretending not to hear it. God is speaking to you through every fiber of your being, through every painful coincidence, through every sign you try to ignore. And the message is clear. Leave. Leave now. Leave without looking back. Leave even if it destroys everything you've built so far. You can feel it, can't you? That heavy energy pushing you away from something or someone that once meant security to you. It could be a relationship that's become a prison. It could be a job that drains your soul. It could be a city that no longer recognizes you. It could be an old version of yourself that refuses to die. But there's something specific in your life that God wants you to let go of, and He's not asking for your opinion on it. It's not a gentle suggestion. It's a divine command, disguised as unease, discomfort, a deep sadness that won't go away no matter how hard you try to convince yourself everything's okay. The truth you don't want to accept is that you've already died in this place where you are now. Your soul has already departed. Your essence has already said goodbye. Your vital energy has already departed. Only your physical body and your fears still insist on remaining. You've become a ghost of your own life, haunting spaces that no longer fit you, repeating empty gestures, pretending to feel things you no longer feel. And God sees this. He sees you betraying yourself every day. He sees you diminishing yourself to fit into molds that were made for who you were before, not for who you've become. Hence the pain. Hence the anguish that grows every day. Why you wake up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, as if you're running from something in dreams you can't remember. Your spirit is screaming, struggling, begging you to stop forcing it to live a lie. And when you ignore these screams, they transform into physical symptoms, into inexplicable anxiety, into a sadness that seems to have no origin, but that devours you from within. Can you feel your own spirit slowly dying each day you remain where you shouldn't be? Scorpio, I know you're afraid. Afraid of leaving and discovering it was a mistake, afraid of starting from scratch, afraid of disappointing the people who depend on you to remain who you've always been, afraid of looking in the mirror after leaving and not recognizing who's staring back. But you need to understand one fundamental thing. This fear isn't yours. It's the fear of the place you need to leave. It's the fear of the situation that feeds your energy. It's the fear of the people who benefit from you remaining small, controlled, and predictable. Fear is the last desperate strategy of everything you need to abandon to stay trapped. It's the agonizing cry of a life that's no longer yours, trying to convince you that you can't live without it. But the truth is the opposite. You can't live with it anymore. Every day you stay is another day subtracted from the real life that awaits you on the other side of that exit. Every hour you postpone this departure is another hour stolen from the destiny God has prepared specifically for you. And here's what will break you and free you at the same time. You already know exactly where you need to escape. You don't need external signs, you don't need confirmation from anyone, you don't need a voice from heaven telling you the address. Your Scorpio heart has already mapped every detail of this prison. You know every bar of this invisible grid. You know the name of every person holding you captive. You recognize every habit that diminishes you. You identify every thought that sabotages you. The only thing missing was someone telling you that not only can you leave, but that you must leave. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd, God wants you to leave relationships that have become battlefields, where you've lost your identity fighting to save something that died long ago. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, the exit is from professional or academic environments that stifle your creativity and transformative power. And for those born between November 13th and 22nd, the call is to abandon old versions of yourselves that still insist on controlling your decisions through fear and the need for approval. But regardless of your specific birth date, you all feel the same deep calling, the urgent need to undergo a symbolic death to allow for a real rebirth. And the resistance you feel isn't weakness, it's the desperate force of everything that needs to die, clinging to life through you. That's why it hurts so much. That's why it feels impossible. That's why you feel torn between two realities, the one you know and hate, and the one you desire and fear. God isn't asking you to be brave, He's asking you to be honest. Honest about what you truly feel when you wake up every day in this place that's no longer yours. Honest about how your body reacts when you have to feign interest in things that no longer make sense to you. Honest about the profound loneliness you feel even when surrounded by people who supposedly know you. Honest about the emptiness that grows within you every time you betray your own truth to maintain a false peace. The way out God is demanding of you isn't just physical, it's energetic, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It's a complete break with thought patterns that keep you trapped, with beliefs that limit you, with loyalties that betray you. It's a deliberate death to everything you've built based on fear, the need for control, the illusion that you can save people or situations that don't want to be saved. And here's the part that will hurt the most. Some of the people you love won't understand your departure. They'll try to convince you you're making a mistake. They'll use your shared history as a weapon to make you come back. They'll awaken your guilt, your compassion, your sense of responsibility to keep you in a place that serves their interests, not yours. They'll make you feel selfish for choosing your own life instead of continuing to sacrifice your well-being for their comfort. But Scorpio, you need to understand that when God wants you to leave, He's protecting you from something you can't yet fully see. He sees the future that awaits you if you stay. He sees how you'll become a shadow of yourself. He sees how your vain strength will be channeled into supporting structures that don't deserve your energy. He sees how your unique gifts will be wasted in situations that don't recognize your true value. The reason God wants you to leave is connected to His greater purpose for your life. There is something waiting for you that can only manifest when you are free from your current bonds. There is a version of yourself that can only be born when your current self dies completely. There is a level of personal power and fulfillment that can only be accessed when you stop draining your energy trying to raise the dead. You've been trying to reform, fix, and transform what you should simply abandon. You've spent years of your life trying to make seeds bloom in poisoned soil. You've insisted on finding water in dry wells. You've struggled to create life in places where only death exists. And God is saying, stop. Stop wasting your power trying to change the unchangeable. Stop sacrificing your future to honor a past that doesn't honor you in return. The exit is not an escape. It's a liberation. It's not giving up. It's surrendering to the truth of what you truly deserve. It's not cruelty. It's self-compassion. It's not selfishness. It's spiritual responsibility. Because when you remain in places that drain your energy, you are robbing the world of the unique contribution that only you can make. You are depriving others of the gift of your genuine and full presence. Scorpio, you were born for transformation, but you've been confusing transformation with reform. Real transformation requires some things to die completely so that others can be born. It requires you to have the courage to leave ashes behind so that something completely new can emerge from your choices. It requires you to accept that some doors, once closed, should never be reopened. In the coming days, you will begin to feel divine pressure intensify. Situations will become more untenable. Internal conflicts will become more acute. The contrast between where you are and where you should be will become more obvious and painful. This is no coincidence. It's God increasing the volume of his message because you've been pretending not to hear when he speaks softly. Pay attention to the physical signals your body is sending. Headaches when you're in that specific place. Nausea when you need to pretend everything is fine. Insomnia when your mind processes the dissonance between your truth and your current reality. Deep fatigue that doesn't improve with rest because it comes from the spiritual exhaustion of living against your own nature. Your body is refusing to cooperate with the lie your mind insists on maintaining. And watch for emotional signs too. Constant irritation with things you once tolerated. Impatience with conversations you once considered important. Deadly boredom with activities you once enjoyed. Feeling like you're playing a role in a play you hate. A growing urge to scream, "This is not me," in the midst of situations that define your current life. These aren't phases. They're symptoms of a soul being forced to live in captivity. The specific reason God wants you to leave will only be revealed after you have the courage to leave. It's as if he's saying, "Trust me first, understand later." Because if he revealed every detail of what awaits you on the other side, you would try to calculate, control, and negotiate the terms of your deliverance. And true deliverance cannot be negotiated. It can only be embraced. But I can give you some clues about what's waiting for you. A version of yourself you never knew existed. Relationships based on mutual truth rather than mutual need. Work that energizes rather than drains. Environments that celebrate your authenticity rather than demand conformity. Peace that comes from inner alignment, not from avoiding external conflict. Power that comes from personal integrity, not from controlling others. And most importantly, the feeling of finally living your own life instead of representing the life others expected you to live. The feeling of breathing fresh air after years of breathing toxic fumes. The feeling of being seen and recognized for who you truly are, not for the role you've learned to play to survive. Scorpio, there's a fundamental difference between leaving out of anger and leaving out of self-love. God isn't calling you to leave out of anger, resentment, or a desire for revenge. He's calling you to leave out of love. Love for who you can become when you're no longer forced to be who you've never been. Love for the present that your life can be when you're no longer trapped in the past that no longer serves you. Love for the future that can only exist when you have the courage to break free from the present that suffocates you. Leaving doesn't mean you'll forever hate what you're leaving behind. It means you'll forever be grateful for having the courage to leave when you realized staying would be a betrayal of your own soul. Some of your best memories may be connected to the place you need to leave, but memories are to be honored, not used as chains that prevent you from living fully in the present. When you finally make that exit, and you will, because the divine pressure will only increase until you give in, you will experience something that may initially frighten you: inner silence. After years of civil war between your truth and your reality, suddenly there will be peace. After years of constant noise from the dissonance between who you are and where you are, suddenly there will be stillness. This silence isn't empty, it's space. Space for you to finally hear your own voice without the interference of external voices that have long dictated your choices. Space for you to feel your own emotions without having to filter them through the needs and expectations of others. Space for you to discover your own desires without having to justify them or adapt them to fit what's convenient for your current situation. And in this space, in this silence, you will begin to understand why God insisted so much on your leaving. You will see connections you couldn't see before. You will understand how every painful experience you lived in this place was preparing you to value what would come next. You will realize how every disappointment was a divine redirection, every conflict a lesson about your own limits, every moment of solitude a preparation for learning to be self-sufficient. The reason will reveal itself in layers, like all profound truths. First, you'll understand the immediate reason. You were becoming someone you no longer recognize, living a life that didn't reflect your true values. Then you'll see the intermediate reason. Specific people and opportunities could only enter your life when you created space for yourself by leaving where you were. And finally, you'll understand the deeper reason. Your soul chose certain experiences for this incarnation, and being stuck where it shouldn't have been was preventing those experiences from manifesting. Scorpio, in the coming days and weeks, as the pressure to leave intensifies, remember that you are not being punished. You are being redirected. You are not being rejected by the universe. You are being summoned to a higher level of existence. You are not losing your life. You are finally beginning to truly live it. And when the time comes, and you'll know when it has, because you can no longer pretend you don't know, make your exit with dignity. Don't over-explain. Don't over-justify yourself. Don't try to convert anyone to your truth. Simply go. Go with gratitude for what you've experienced, with clarity about what you choose to experience now, and with absolute confidence that God knows exactly where you need to be. The exit isn't the end of your story, it's the end of the prologue. Your real life awaits you on the other side of this courageous decision. And when you finally get there, when you're finally free to be completely yourself, you'll look back and understand that every painful moment you experienced trying to stay where you shouldn't have was worth it, because it gave you the strength and wisdom to never again accept living below your means. God wants you to leave somewhere for a reason, and that reason has a name. You, the real you, the authentic you, the whole you, the free you. This is the gift He wants to give you. But you need to have the courage to let go of everything that isn't this gift in order to receive it fully. The choice is yours. But know that every day you postpone, you are choosing the pain of permanence over the pain of transformation. And one hurts to keep you trapped, the other hurts to free you. If this message reached you, it's no coincidence. It's because you're already being prepared to make this exit that will change everything in your life. Share in the comments if you feel comfortable the place or situation you feel you need to leave. Sometimes putting it into words gives us the final clarity we need to act. Your experience can help other Scorpios recognize their own callings to leave. Subscribe to the channel because your departure is just the beginning of a profound transformation that will require guidance and support. In upcoming content, I'll discuss how to deal with the guilt that can arise after leaving, how to rebuild your identity away from the places that defined you, and how to recognize and embrace the opportunities that only arise after you create space for them. Turn on notifications because in the coming days, I'll share specific signs that indicate your time to leave has come, and you can't miss these guidelines. Remember, God would never ask you to leave somewhere without having something much better prepared for you. Trust the process, even when you can't see your destination. Your courage to leave will be rewarded with a life you never knew was possible.